Now, one guy that I hear from this fan base more than any other that I don't give him enough credit, and your model suggests that's probably true, Eli Drinkwitz, A minus grade according to your analytics. Why is the model so high on Missouri's head coach?
Well, and some of that is, this is his, I think he's in his third year currently as being a head coach. So some of that is lack of data, and some of that data is coming from Appalachian State, where he, wasn't facing the same competition he is now in the SEC. He wasn't experiencing some of the same roster talent discrepancies between his roster and the roster of the teams in his conference. So some of that has some leveling back out to do. I do think he is a good coach. He is doing things. He is winning, winning 5-6 games a year with a roster that has one of the least amounts of roster talent in the whole SEC. I think they are second to last in the SEC in roster talent. So he's doing more with his roster than he probably should. I have Missouri projected right now to go 8-4 this year, and if he's able to do that with that roster and in that division in this conference, then that's worthy of an A- grade.
Now, let me ask you about Tennessee's hire there, Josh Heupel, which I think a lot of Tennessee fans would be surprised to find out that, according to your analytics, similar grade. Now, I assume a lot of the same applies to Josh Heupel, previously at UCF. Now he's at a much tougher division, but you got him as an A minus. So, based on that letter grade, I would assume that you think Tennessee made a good hire here with Josh Heupel.
Yeah, it's especially considering the circumstances in which Tennessee's working with. Are there sanctions coming? Are there not? They had a bunch of players bail. Josh Heupel is a solid coach. He's going to come in and he's going to do things right. He's not going to get you in any more trouble. The thing about Josh Heupel is, in what I've seen with him, and I think Missouri fans would maybe agree with this, is he likes to run up-tempo to the point where it's almost a detriment to his own defense. So he has to find a defensive coordinator. This new defensive coordinator that they've hired, he is going to have to be able to handle facing, defending 80 plays a game in the SEC. That's tough to do. And if you remember back to when he was at Missouri, the offenses at Missouri were good, but it came at the detriment of his defense at times. Barry Odom kind of suffered the consequences for that. So you're gonna have to outscore a lot of teams, especially in that first year or so, until that defensive coordinator that he's hired, Tim Banks, is able to come along and maybe get his feet wet in the SEC and learn how to be a defensive coordinator, defending that many plays week in and week out.